What was I thinking? She asked herself, after she sealed up the massive hole in her chest and began to breathe again. But that was easy. She was trying to help him out. How was she supposed to know it would backfire on her? Oh well, none of that would be a problem until he woke up. She would be better off starting to worry about alpha pre-training. She didn't know a thing about it, and she definitely did not want to be at the training facility for the actual alphas at 6 in the morning. 6 in the morning was reserved for things like watching the sunrise, taking care of her brothers, making breakfast, and eating breakfast. Once in a while, it was for sleeping in late on a Saturday. Lastly, the idea of fighting to save the world was not for her. True, she loved the world. She was particularly interested in helping with disaster relief efforts. She would love to travel to the far corners of the world where she could meet people, learn their stories, hear their songs, and feel their heartfelt thanks and a sense of togetherness through helping them get back to living their lives. She did not, however, want to soar into a country, cause random explosions, see people die, and leave behind a wake of strife and suffering for others to clean up after. There were plenty of ideas about what girls and women were and were not, and most of these ideas Charlotte rejected out of hand. This was the one she kept clinging to, though. She would rather create than destroy. She would rather fight a battle with a broom and a smile than a gun and a grimace. She knew deep down that the alphas were ultimately created for the greater good. Part of Charlotte's history training under the Marcus Patterson building during 7th grade was to know just how amazing the alphas were. They showed her video after video of the alphas stopping civil war. They swooped in and took out opium barons, cocaine factories, destroyed enormous meth labs, blew apart prostitution and human trafficking rings. They were the good guys. But you never heard about what happened after that stuff. Drugs were bad, sure, but hundreds of families depended on that for their lives. Did the alphas or the American government give those people jobs or just take off and disappear into a mobile press conference room? The little research she had managed told her that it was option 2. See ya, guys, we fixed all the problems. Consequences do not exist. At times, she wondered just how much the whole town of Lincolnshire and the alphas cost the world. To that, there was no good answer. Charlotte thought about it all that night. It preoccupied her, distressed her, and this wasn't like her at all. It got under her skin. Heck, she had been shot. No problemo. She was more upset that she wasn't going to get a chance to have music time with Michael at the hospital the next morning. "Mom," she asked at dinner. If someone told you that you had to fight, would you?" "I would fight for what I believe in," her mother responded, and spooned another bit of applesauce off a twin chin and back into the mouth. "Is it that simple?" "Yep," her mother said. "Like, really?" "Charlotte, really, I have to say I'm a little surprised," her mother said. "Mr. Pierre says I have to go to Alpha pre-training." Now her mother looked at her. "And you don't want to go?" She explained all her problems with the program and with the people left throughout the world after the alphas did their flash bang thing. "It seems pretty clear what you ought to do then." "Well, that was easy," Charlotte said, smirking. "What should I do?" "Well, you aren't happy with the way it's run. Sounds like if you really want some change, you ought to get in there and tell the top people what you really think." "Like Michael's grandpa?" Her mother nodded. "That's a start. You'd be in a better position to do that if you went through some of those experiences. And who knows, you might learn something important." She went to the B.H. Obama Hospital that night and apologized to Michael for bothering him twice in one day. Then she dragged out some of Mr. Trenton's head-bobbing ragtime examples, transformed into someone who'd been dead 200 years, and forgot all about her troubles for a little while. Michael slept on, but she liked to think she could see the faintest hint of smile touching the corners of his mouth.